if you're looking for a barber in your town, the first place you'll look is their Instagram. I guess it's our LinkedIn.
The community is out there and it is talking.
Yeah.
And I guess really it's just a matter of getting the volume up a little bit more.
Absolutely. And the way we do that is by dialing into our individuality, our unique ability. Can't understand how it's real life. You know, I hang out with the fellas all day. I wear what I want. I chat about whatever I want. I've got a couple of other barbers in there that, you know, are having just as much of a laugh as I am. They're also there to do a job as well. So I feel super lucky to be in the position I'm in.
Hi, welcome to the Noble Barber podcast. I'm Anthony Laban, and we'll be talking to various people in the industry who've made it and their journey and how they got here. Talking honest, cutting through the crap and making sure your story and their story is heard to help your business and hopefully mine. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hi there, I'm Anthony Laban and you're listening to another episode of the Noble Barber podcast. I'm here today with Ardy of Ardys. Welcome, buddy. Thank you very, very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So we nearly met at Barber Connect and we kept missing each other, and you've been on my kind of headspace for a while, so I'm really pleased you made it up. Thank you so much. If we could start off with maybe you just giving us a little run-in of how you became a barber, from not being a barber to being a barber, missing out your childhood.
Yeah. Well, I always say that I was on a quest for happiness and never really committed to anything. And then all of a sudden decided to commit to becoming a barber, going back to college. I was 26, this is 2017, I think it was. And yeah, went back around this time, 2017. Did a year at college, and within that year, crowbarred my way into my first shop and then started cutting hair just on a commission split for about a year. And then I had the opportunity to run my own place or for somebody else. And I did that for about 9 months up until the lockdown. And then during lockdown, I thought it was a good idea to open a shop, which is Ardy's, which is what we see today. And that, for the last 4 years, I've been cutting hair, changing lives, having a good time at Ardy's.
Oh, mate, I've loved watching it happen. As I said to you, I've kind of really liked what you came to my mind from your Instagram pathway, I guess. And it was only this morning that I've discovered that you came to becoming a barber and then running your own place in a really short space of time.
Yeah.
How did that go? How? I mean, I speak to so many people who've done a kind of 9 months of college or did a couple of courses that are struggling to even get a barbering job, let alone starting an empire.
Well, I started off, so I was 26. I had a pretty secure home life. And during college, when I decided to go back to learn to cut hair, at about Christmas time, my now wife fell pregnant with our first son.
Congratulations.
So that was like a double down of like,
Yes.
I've left paid work to go and study, and I've also got a kid on the way. And so it's kind of like a race between getting busy enough to support a family and have a nice life. And I took a run at it. I was inspired straight away I went to an early Salon International with the college.
Right.
And I was just blown away that
life's there.
it just existed. I knew people cut hair, but I didn't know you could prat about on stage and show yourself off. And I thought it was amazing. I was completely absorbed by what I saw. And I remember thinking, that seems so far away, but how cool would it be to be able to do that one day? And I thought, I basically said to myself there, like, you need to listen to what these people are telling you and don't be scared about putting yourself out there. So I played rugby at the time. I was cutting before and after training. Anyone I'd send the group text with all the players in. I say, look, I'm going to be cutting from here from 6 o'clock until training. Anyone need a haircut, let me know. And I basically forced everyone to come and get a really shit haircut for a long time until I qualified. So by the time I got into a shop, I was already, I felt like I was already one of the busiest barbers in the town, just because I was well connected and threw myself at it. Like, didn't matter so much how bad the haircut was at the start. I think what gave people confidence was like how I made them feel throughout the haircut. So that it's kind of, put enough gel in it, you could get away with a shit haircut to start with.
Well, we were saying that before. I think I think I guess there's degrees about how bad the haircut is. But I think the kind of barbershop experience is the thing that people are wanting now. It does feel like guys want to belong somewhere. They want that culture of barbershop, their barbershop, and they kind of wear that badge with pride. I think that's like, oh no, that's my barber's, I go there. There's a much bigger loyalty to barbers and barbershops than there has been for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
And it's not like as we were just saying, it's not necessarily that it's the greatest, most perfect, spirit level, fabulous haircut in the world, but the whole experience has just left you kind of walking out feeling a couple of inches taller and a little bit more confident.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I want to got this sort of vision in my head that I want everyone to feel like their haircut is their highlight of their week, no matter what they've got planned. You can come and get your haircut and that be the best part of your week. And I just think that's so, it's a complete possibility if everyone does their best and commits to it.
Well, it looks it. I mean, you show your barbershop off in a good light. It looks like you certainly managed to get across the kind of positivity that's in your room.
Yeah.
It seems like a happy place. From watching your clips, I'm kind of like, if I could, I'd maybe go and get a haircut there. It has a really good
shoulder
vibe.
rub or something.
quick polish through. But yeah, so I think that's what I kind of got drawn to with it. It wasn't just showing off a haircut. It wasn't, flicking a gown across the camera and all of a sudden it was a perfect fade or there was a lot of humor in there. There was some advice. There was, and it seems like you've kind of been growing up on social media.
Yeah.
I've been watching what you've been doing a little bit more since I've kind of decided I really wanted to get you on. And it does seem that you are showing different sides of yourself.
Yeah.
Is that confidence that's growing in you
every day? Yeah.
Coming through?
When I started, I knew the importance of having a social media following because that's where everyone looks now.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a barber in your town, the first place you'll look is their Instagram. It's their I guess it's our LinkedIn. It's a way of showing the world where we are. And I've made it from the beginning, and basically where I was stumbling was I was trying to make content that everyone else was putting out, so it became, my scanning around the head haircut videos became in competition with everybody else because it was just
kind of following the pack.
All of that already existed. So in a world where not everyone knows what a really good haircut looks like, everything just looked the same. And I, like every barber would agree, think that the barbershop's like such a fun, exciting, happy, funny. It's an amazing, amazing place. So why are we just showing the really serious side of that and just showing our haircut? So I thought, how can I mix in my personality, my haircutting skills, my sense of humor, the shop, what it looks like, how it feels, like maybe some music, what we're listening to. How can I all put that into one? And I've had lots of help on the way understanding who I am, but the realization for me that no one in the world can be me was like it changed the space from being a competition to what can I add to it? How can I lift the space that exists? Because regardless whether I post or not, barbering community online space exists.
Yeah.
So I could either not post through fear and what someone might think of my haircuts or my videos, or I can be like, what value can I personally bring to the space that exists? And what you're seeing online is
you're doing it. You're doing it really well. I love it.
Thank you.
But you're one of the few. There's a handful out there, but you seem to be doing it very well. That you're really open. You really are putting yourself out there, and you're quite honest about whether you feel, how you feel about it. Do you know what I mean? I think that it's quite a brave thing to do when everyone else, like you say, is taking it very seriously.
Yeah. Because it hasn't made a difference to the people that come in. The people that know about Ardy's in my area in Chichester, they know what they're getting, or they hear about what they're getting when they come in.
Yeah.
So they see a video of me taking the piss out of a customer that comes in that's, sits a bit funny or, does something. All my videos like that, they're just observations. Like, I know what the collective mind of maybe barbers are thinking, because we have these thoughts in our head like, I wish this person would sit up. So they're just, a lot of my videos are just observations that I think are going to be funny. And I also know that they're not going to do any real damage to the core of what Ardy's is, which is great haircuts, good service, nice music. Like
But that's the bit that you are talking to your customer. And I think so many people forget to talk to their customer. You look at most of a lot of Instagrams and they're talking to other barbers or, do you know what I mean? It seems like they're showing their stuff as like a museum or an art gallery of this is what we do and it should be treated with reverence, which is great if that's who you want to talk to. But you seem to be really just talking to your public, the people who are actually going to spend money, who are actually going to put money in your account. And do you know what I mean? And I think that's what appealed to me when I first saw it, was that you do seem to be quite blatantly directional in who you're talking to and why.
Yeah. I in my head, I know what I want to do. And if I have an idea that I think's going to make someone laugh, make someone think about the way they do something or get a reaction or whatever it might be in that moment, I rather than go, that's a good idea, I'm going to do that, and not do it, not act upon it, I just act.
Yeah.
And then just, as long as I'm happy, as soon as I press the post button, as long as I've okayed it with myself, like the result is I've posted videos that haven't got, some amazing videos that no one's seen. So actually, it doesn't matter how engaging it is. It just how much, what that video means to you.
Yeah.
And that's
and
why
working business is good.
Yeah, it's tickety boo.
So you're, what is it? So 4 years old.
Yeah, in our 5th year. And
glad you did it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a giant ego and my name above the door. So I've now moved my station to under. I've got a wall with a load of artwork on, but at the top of the wall, it's got Ardy's written on it. So you're sat underneath Ardy's, and I think it's great. I get to fucking perform every day. It's like, can't understand how it's real life. I hang out with the fellas all day. I wear what I want. I chat about whatever I want. I've got a couple of other barbers in there that, are having just as much of a laugh as I am. Also with that, they're also there to do a job as well. So I feel super lucky to be in the position I'm in.
Excellent. And as we were saying, although you came to it late, this is kind of first career stuff. You kind of jobbed quite a lot before then. And so this is the first thing that's given you a real kind of work-wise kind of direction.
Well, I just saw the starting point of possibility was the Salon International or Barber Connect the first time I went, because I just thought I could either cut hair and do that, and just under the radar do my job, which I would have loved and would love if I ended up doing that, or I can take it down all these separate different. You're a barber and you're a podcaster. Since when's that been possible? It just, there's so many avenues you can take this career. And for me, like, it is a creative act and it's artistic. So you then get to, when it's art you're producing, you get to mold it to your own.
No, I think that's the one thing that I've really enjoyed. I mean, I've been, I've been cutting hair. I've been owning stores since I was 22. Doesn't ever seem like the period I haven't cut hair. And I still have a great passion for it. Still very excited. But one of the big things about our industry is there are so many threads to it. I think we're on podcast 47 or 48 or something.
Yeah.
And everyone's had their own different and interesting story.
Yeah.
Which I don't think you'd get in a lot of industries. I think if we did doing a podcast about post office workers, but it may struggle by episode 11 or 12.
Yeah, I reckon Pat might have a few things to say.
But moving away from the kind of Insta, I mean, behind Insta and social media, you've built your business.
Yeah.
And you built a business when you'd only really been in the industry 2 or 3 years. So you really dived in. You were really plunged. And and seem to have buoyed yourself really well and having a good time of it.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. I do the things that I'm good at well, and the stuff I struggle with, like admin, I outsource. You know,
Excellent.
I get the boring stuff I don't want to do. None of my problem. It all goes on my talking accounts, QuickBooks, and accountant. They do the rest of it, and
I think as long as that's done, that's all that matters. I think it's only if you're ignoring it and shoveling it under the carpet, you're in trouble. But as long as someone's doing it,
yeah.
But you were saying earlier that you've now started you've been working with a business coach or a life coach for the last year or two.
Yeah.
And stepping it up a bit more kind of directionally now. How does that lend itself to Ardy's of Ardy's?
Well, so I started working with Callum in 2020 during the lockdown, and we just explored. At first, it was very much like business goals, like, you know, how many posts a week I wanted to do, or what I wanted to learn, like if I wanted to watch an educational video, or all just business commitments.
Yeah.
And we got to a point where we were building stuff that I'd make a commitment to, but wasn't following it through. So then we realized there was a problem, like an underlying issue, that actually I'm getting in the way of myself, basically. So we looked at how I interact with myself and my thoughts, how my relationship is with myself, and what my word means to me. So if I say I'm going to do something, how easy do I break that promise? And the last 18 months Ardy of Ardy's, the new Instagram page, the videos you're seeing, the expressive side of me is a result of me getting out of my way and just having a stab at what I think's good. I love the idea of creating content. I love making videos, so I'm doing it. I'm living into that world and what that looks like, and the results are paying off. I'm now living when I started, I wanted to cut hair on stage. I've done that now. I wanted to have my own shop. I've got that now. I wanted to be on podcasts. I've been into
it now.
You know, so like all these, I'm now living my dream that I wished I'm the person I wished I was 5 years ago. And I've just basically proved to myself that, you know, if I commit to doing these things that I want to do, then I can create the life that I want to live. And that doesn't ever stop.
All the walls and barriers were in your head rather than
and it always is. It's always, you're always the first person to stop yourself from doing something. You can always talk yourself out of doing something really easily. And I just find that getting to know yourself a bit better, separating yourself from your thoughts, you know, creating that space and making them less scary. That's the big thing. Getting out of the way of fear.
And people that know you well, your other half, are they seeing this change? Is it making
I'd say
having
so.
started, is it making waves?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because you in your head, you create this person, or everyone you meet, they never meet you, they meet their thoughts of you. So if you all of a sudden change that, then people might think, oh, hang on, that's not what Jack's like. He's not like that. He wasn't like that before. I know him. So and then you start thinking about what they're thinking, and you start fumbling. So the best, the way I live the best is when I'm just completely present with, you know, if I'm at home, I want to be with my family. You know, there's times where I'll be on my phone and I'm like, well, I'm ignoring my kids here. So like the more I engage with the moment, you know, the bigger impact I can have on not just my family, my business, it's all for me. It's been about being more present.
Yeah, so less distracted as you go along.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's it. Yeah, chatting to the amount of people we've spoken to along the way, is there always seems to be huge ambition with people. And we know, you know, we both know there's always something. It's very easy that stuff gets in the way. You get redirected. You don't hit all those goals. Yeah, it does take quite a firm mindset to kind of go, no, I'm going to hit that. Especially something like, you know, I'm going to retrain as a barber. I'm going to have my own store, and to have done that within kind of 3 years. and and stick a baby into the mix as well. So you obviously already had that element of drive, and a baby on the way can be a little bit more ammo in the gun, I guess. But do you need a business coach or a life coach to do that? If we're talking to people out there that are finding that their own worst enemies, was it you? Does it still come down to you making that commitment to changing it, or are you just following the advice blindly of a business coach?
I think to start with, you have to have that curiosity. Like, it's interesting the language you used about, do I need a business coach? Now I'm of the thinking that I don't need anything. Like, nothing I do or nothing I achieve will change who I am. So the happiest I've ever been and the saddest I've ever been, it's been the same person receiving that as ever. So no matter what happens between now until I die, nothing's going to change. I'm still going to be me.
Right.
So do I need a coach? No. Do I want a coach? Is yes, because I think it's important to have powerful conversations about being curious, expressing and showing love, and all these beautiful things that we've been put on this earth to do. I think I'm a deep thinker, and I love having someone in my corner that's going to help me unpack my thoughts and rebuild and put it towards a plan of seeing what that looks like and having a play with it and just having a bit of fun.
So are you finding now that your future is a bit more, has more clarity, has more focus? Have you got a new set of goals to aspire to, or is it?
Yeah, definitely. So barbering in general has been the only job I've had where I've seen a future for me in it. And the goalposts move, when I started, the goal was I want to be busy enough to make a living.
Yeah. And
then I want to have the biggest following in Chichester so people know where to come and get the best haircut. Then I wanted to have my own shop, and I had luckily a stepping stone running my own place. So I had a dummy run of what that looked like. I had 9 months up until COVID of starting and building. We went from not a barbershop that existed by the time we left with the most positively reviewed barbershop in Chichester, absolutely flying. With the help of Russell, who still works with me today, it was amazing. And even up until COVID happened, I hadn't really considered what my next move was. But then obviously everyone had a chance to reassess and reevaluate a lot.
Did that close during COVID and not reopen?
No, it reopened. I put them in touch with the barber I think would be a suitable fit to take the reins after I left. And I just thought the shop is what I want now with my name on it and my creation. And that's what it's.
And still going in every day, opening the door with a wee grin on your face.
I do 6 days a week. They're not all full days. Like Monday is very much more relaxed for me. I get some chance to sort of set some goals for the week and have a bit of me time. It's only me that works in the shop on a Monday, so none of the other barbers come in. And then, some late starts, some early finishes sometimes. It's just, I still get that excitement when I walk around the corner and see my shop. It's like, this is really cool that we're doing. And even now, moving from what I'm doing now to move the goalposts again and look at the next thing. It's always it's exciting having these plans and ideas of what you want to do and want to create. And, as long as you don't get too attached to them, so it's not going to, if you shoot and you miss, it doesn't really matter because you're still plowing in the right direction.
Where did you do your first haircut on stage?
I got a late call up for the London Barber Bash with Gary. So that was on a stand.
Right.
First stage was the Wales Barber Expo when I was mic'd up, and that was cool actually. I was absolutely shitting myself, but it was great. It wasn't as busy as the London Barber Bash. There was still a lot of really familiar faces at the Wales show, which sort of gave me some more nerves before I went on.
Right.
I had this amazing idea that I didn't get asked to go on this Wales stage because I'm an educator or anything like that. Because I got asked because I've been making funny videos that people are enjoying. So I just kind of made my haircut about just me celebrating the fact that I was up there being asked. Brilliant. And like I was an example of what being yourself, expressing yourself looked like, rather than being like, this is how you cut hair. I was like, this is fucking cool. This is what I get to do because I've made the decision to get out of my own way. This is me. I cut my dad's hair. He's got about 4 hairs on his head, and I cut his hair, gave him a nice normal haircut. But for me, it was just an amazing experience looking back. Just a chance to celebrate.
And do it again?
I did it again. I got Sean over in Cut and Sew. Sean, he invited me to the Wales Barber Expo in Ireland, in Dublin. And that was incredible. That was at a music venue. I was in front of hundreds of barbers. Like I saw a picture of MF Doom, this rapper I quite enjoy, in the green room before I went up. He'd played at this, so I was so pumped before I went out on stage. I was like, MF Doom's been here. I'm about to talk about cutting hair, and it was just amazing. Like, I got hold of the mic. I was like, I made an observation about how much barbers say yes guys before they do a video, and that kind of for a bit was like people would always say yes guys to me. So I got the whole crowd to shout yes guys, and it was just one of the most surreal experiences ever, and one that I absolutely loved. But no, doing some more work with Gary from Barber Bash, and so I'll be cutting in Birmingham in November, and he spoke about plans to work together in the future. So we'll see what that looks like, and it's all moving nicely.
But you're going to stick with more. We're going to keep seeing more and more of you on Insta and social media.
I'd like to think so. It's a nice way for me to express my creativity. So I have a lot of fun with it. When something doesn't, if something stops being fun, is when I'll stop doing it. And for now, I'm having a great time. I get great feedback, which obviously helps.
So which has given you the most? Let's go down that route. Which ones have given you the most response? Which ones have you loved the most, or have been loved the most?
So the first one that went a bit mad was I did a haircut with a guy Bobby, one of my good clients. He came in. He had fairly long, grown out skin fade, and he wanted a buzz cut. So I was like, "Can I just borrow you for a video?" I'm going to say he's got really strong cowlick. He's got a crown that's just a nightmare. I was like, "Can I just do a video where I'm like, this is how you handle da 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 da," and then I cut to me just buzzing his hair off, and that just I guess people were expecting, because of the seriousness of how social media comes across with these transformational videos. I just thought it'd be funny just to show the side where, this guy's, to the viewer, they might think he's asked for the most suitable haircut for his hair, and I've just fucked it off. So that did really well. And then I had another few other videos that I went down a similar route with that. And then I did a video about some guys turning up to the shop smelling of weed.
Oh, lovely skunk aroma throughout the shop.
And I don't have a problem with what people get up to. I never have, and it's great. That's on them. But I just made an observational video about some guys turning up and making the shop absolutely reek of, I might have had a kid in there at the time or something. Something happened, and I thought, I'm going to make just a light-hearted video that if one of my clients sees that, they might double take the next time they put a joint out on my shop door. Right. And it just went mental. I guess if you go after a community that's their thing, they might have felt
torches and pitchforks already.
Yeah, and they let me know that I was bald. They let me know that I was overweight. They let me know that my shop hadn't been painted and didn't have had wooden walls, and all these little things that previously maybe would have stopped me from doing what I was doing. But actually, the journey I've been on to detaching myself from all the online stuff it's been why I've continued to post.
And are you enjoying it? Do you enjoy all it? You're happy with everything? There's not a kind of are there some that you've just done kind of go, I just love that. That's going to bang out the park. And you're like, No one's looked. What happened?
It is interesting. The ones you think are going to do better than the others, you have an idea of what you think is going to go well. And obviously now I'm at a point where I've tried and tested a lot of different things. So I kind of know roughly if I want more views, then I know which sort of style of video to go after. But yeah, there's some that you're like, oh man, I wish more people could see this, because actually this is one I really care about and it's going to make more of a difference to you. So like the more serious videos where I'll offer some help or some advice that have helped me along my journey, it's not going to stop me from leaning into that. That's actually what I'd like to do some more of. But I really like making videos. Yeah. And when they're received, it's great. But
it does sound like there's been elements, because you said previously you'd worked in a kind of mentorship role in other areas, and it seems like it's crept back in here and there.
Yeah.
I've seen a few things from younger barbers that are a bit nervous, and I spoke to someone at Barber Connect actually who you'd kind of got them to do it regardless, and they were really proud of themselves for putting something on their social media, and they only did it because they bumped into you there, and you just said, no, just do it, it's great.
Is that Connor?
I can't remember, to be honest with you. I had so many conversations.
I've had some good chats with Connor who was on here before.
But and I think that's that. So do you find, is that something on the horizon that, on a serious note, that you feel you want to?
Definitely. I put a post out this morning about my sort of mission is to try and make barbering, or try and make this industry the most supportive. Take an industry like tattooing. People who don't necessarily have tattoos can name a famous or a bloody good tattoo artist. Right. So tattoo artists is the tattoo industry is cool. Now you ask any of your mates who don't give a shit about barbering who Josh LaMonica is. Not many of them are going to know. And he yet is the most impactful men's hair educator on the planet. Like, more barbers know about him than anyone else, right? So how do we make barbering, this space that exists, cool to the outside world? And the way we do that is by getting out of our own way so we can all express what we want to share, because everyone knows what they want to do, right? Everyone has this idea of what they can give to the world, but then they'll stop themselves and go, oh, maybe that barber will think I'm a bit of a tit for doing that. So if we can remove that, then also like the supportive side of things, if we can see on big posts with lots of engagement, some of the comments will be like 2 fire emojis, or it's fucking amazing. That's their like extra to a like. They like the content, and then they add 2 things. How cool would it be if you actually told that person why you love that video, or why you like that, or why you love the person in the video? Like, I think there's real space there for us to try and grow it, because if you grow everybody, the whole everything gets better. Yeah. So
I mean, it is nice. I mean, we see from this, we get the messaging we get on the whole, when I do have people that are very happily tell me I'm bald, so just in case I hadn't quite clocked it.
Yeah.
But the positive stuff you get back from people, the community is out there, and it is talking. Yeah. And I guess really it's just a matter of getting the volume up a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way we do that is by dialing into our individuality, our unique ability.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I like that. Buddy, I'm so pleased we did finally meet. And I love the growth that you're having. And I really didn't realise just how much has happened in a relative, I'm sure for you it feels like a lifetime, but in a relatively short space, to go from, not barbering to having the sort of following you're having on Insta. Yeah. And huge respect to what you're doing with your coach and burning down your own fences, mate.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Awesome. Great stuff. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to the Noble Barber Podcast. We're always looking for interesting people and interesting stories. If you know someone, or you are someone with a great story that you want to share, get in touch and come join me on the sofa. Thanks very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next time.